Windsor, Ontario, Canada, world home of the Ford Motor Company's big motors, like the 5.0-liter fuel-efficient V8 engine found in the F-150 Ford truck and in the Shelby and select Mustang. Windsor, Detroit. The Eternal Engine and Restructuring Motor, capital of North America. Windsor, Detroit.
We should carry on. Yes, thank you very much for being here. Start back. Thank you.
Please be seated.
Ship's company today. At speed. Leading seaman Ayala. Men! Leading seaman Ayala is being presented with an operational service medal for op Korea on board HMCS Kingston.
The outgoing commanding officer will now address the ship's company.
Well, good morning. It's good afternoon. I think I might be a little bit nervous for once. MP Joe Martin, Captain Lemire, Commander Chan, Lieutenant Colonel Lafreniere, our reviewing officer, Captain Hawkins, friends, family, honored guests. Je pourrais faire le remarque en français aussi, mais je crois que vous allez me pardonner si je le fais seulement en anglais aujourd'hui. Several months ago, when I knew that I was going to relinquish command, I thought, I know there's going to be a change in command. What am I going to say? So I did some reflection, and I looked over 28 years of my career, and the one theme that seemed to come out was evolution. So, as a framework for how to describe evolution, at least as I see it with my own eyes, I'd like to take the toasts of the day, which originate from the dawn of the Royal Navy, our progenitor, and which were written in a very purposeful order of priority. So I thought it appropriate, therefore, to structure my remarks along those lines, as I hope you would agree. Monday, the original toast was our ships at sea. Today, it's called just our ship. In those days, voyages were very long, and ships could be gone for a year or more. Hence why we wish well on those as implicit in this toast. We must also remember that without ships, we cannot be a navy. Today, our ships and our boats permit us to achieve excellence in operation. Not only the fleet in being, but the fleet of the future as well. The Canadian Surface Combatant, the Joint Support Ship, the Arctic Offshore Patrol Ship, and then newer concepts of the day, such as blended crewing and the One Navy. Hunter, we must remember, is also a ship. One where excellence in training, rather than operations, is the immediate goal. For Tuesday, the toast when I joined the Navy was our men. Now it is our sailors. Clearly, the sailors are the the backbone of the RCM, and they are here the backbone of Hunter. I must say, I envy those of you who are the most junior right now and just beginning your careers, because the future is ahead of you, and it is indeed bright. Wednesday's toast used to be ourselves. Today's toast is still ourselves. This refers to the peers, the mess, the unity, or literally the individual. But for the senior members of the ship, officers and NCOs in particular, when they toasted, and when they still toast to ourselves, it serves as a reminder that their ships and their sailors always must come first. This is also a reminder, I think, to us that we must take the time to appreciate one another as brothers and sisters in arms. Thursday's toast used to be a bloody war or sickly season. Now it is our name. Formerly, this was a tongue-in-cheek toast which wished for promotion opportunities. But currently, it stands as a salute to the RCM, from coast to coast to coast. We are indeed a three-ocean navy, and will always need to operate globally to meet Canada's security objectives. Friday's toast was a willing foe and seaman. Today is our nation. It once expressed a somewhat warlike desire for engaging the enemy at sea, enemy naval forces, that is. The world we live in today, however, is not so simple. Our foes are not easily identifiable. They do not keep to certain borders, and they are often among us, which requires us to adapt and evolve as well. In the end, our nation is what we cherish and protect: our Constitution, our freedom, and our way of life. Saturday's toast was wives and sweethearts. May they never meet. Today, it is our families. This is obviously an outdated reference. The days when sailors were all men and were said to have a girl on board, which I'm sure is not true anymore. Today, our families are the cornerstone of our strength as sailors. None of us can do what we do without the love and support that we receive from our families. My dear Karen, you know how much I love you, and what a source of strength you've been to me. Thank you. I didn't think it was going to be this difficult. Sunday, the toast was absent friends, and it is still today to absent friends. This toast is eternal, as it should be. It refers to those who are not here in the moment, but more so to those who have crossed the line. We have a number that have left us just in the short time that I was here, and sadly there will be more in the future. We will remember. So in keeping with the theme of evolution, there are just a few items that I would like to highlight, which I think are of some significance. These have all come about in just the 3 short years that I was here. And these are things that I believe we should be justifiably proud of as a ship's company. First, the annual Battle of the Atlantic commemoration is now a unified affair. We have one parade and one dinner. We bring together the entire Naval family, our brothers and sisters in arms, cadets, the community, veterans, and our allies from the United States. I hope that this tradition will be perpetuated, and I trust that it will. Secondly, the savior of our Navy and the father of the Naval Reserve, Rear Admiral Walter Hose, now has a fitting monument next to his gravesite. We now commemorate this historic figure annually with a parade on the anniversary of his death, June 22nd. Thirdly, the Hunter has provided direct support to the fleet, disproportionately so whether it has been for the Canada Coast Guard Inshore Rescue Boat Program, or exercises, or for one Navy crewing of both minor and major warships, Hunter punches above its weight. Fourth, the Naval Reserve is now an integrated part of Maritime Forces Pacific Command. The Naval Reserve is now recognized as the principal entity for effecting strategic communications and connecting the navies. And fifth, the new Hunter has been born. It is the beginning of a new age. I only wish I could be there to enjoy it with you, but rest assured, I'll be watching closely from a distance. Finally, to you, the ship's company, I say thank you for the best experience of my career and for being a great crew. To the friends, family, allies, and colleagues in this area, I say thank you for welcoming me so warmly and for the support and friendship that you have shown me in my time at home. Finally, to my successor, I say, Bob, you have the ship. Take good care of it.
The signing of the change of command certificates marks the passage of The reviewing officer, Captain Navy Vulcans, will now address the parade.
What a great honor it is to preside over today's ceremony. Partly because of the importance that this day has in the history of this great unit, Her Majesty's Canadian Ship Hunter, but partly also because this assembly of guests today is a reflection of the excellent regard that the City of Windsor has for its own part of the Navy, this unit. All of you distinguished guests, we are honored by your presence. Taking your time to participate in this ceremony today as witnesses in the lawful transfer of command authority of this unit is a great compliment to both of the fine officers sitting up here with me, and I thank you all for that. And may I also say what a great pleasure it is to visit this unit when it is on the cusp of such an important and happy event as the impending move into your new building. First of class, new batch of stone frigates, new beginnings, new opportunities, a building with an audacious design that I think captures some of the character of determination and readiness for action that is the hallmark of the Reserve. All of this, of course, is nonetheless anchored in your own history and traditions, of which you are very proud, I'm sure. This unit wears its history very well, I think, and the new building will befit an institution that at once reminds us of the labors and sacrifices of our nation's past. We simply could not be where we are today without that, but also the type of service and commitment to our country, which allows us as Canadians to naturally assume that our future will be even brighter. So what is the business of Hunter? Maritime security, crucial to the global economy, and as we know, the safe passage of shipping is the lifeblood of the economy. It does not just happen. In the areas of the ocean estate where there is more or less rule of law, and the vast majority where there isn't, security as such comes from our navies. Our own Navy contributes substantially to that security and is one of the most flexible and responsive tools our government can bring to bear in our global engagement and protection of our national interests. And I've seen a few of you out there today who are wearing medals that recognize exactly that type of effort. Congratulations. The very serious vocation of all of us in the Navy is to be mariner, warriors, and ambassadors for our country. At the same time, we are trained to be the best possible leaders in both of these roles. As reservists in the Navy, we are not exempt from the expectations of the highest standards of tactical proficiency and of conduct. But in addition to this, I'd like to think that we bring to the mix the particular benefit of the perspective of our own civilian professions and backgrounds, which can only strengthen the Navy as a national institution. Just as we represent our country in every foreign port that we visit, so too is every sailor in a Naval Reserve Division an ambassador for the Navy in his or her community. This is the business of Hunter. And with this, I'd like to turn our attention to the heart of the matter today, the salute to, recognition of the great accomplishments of this unit and the notable leadership of the outgoing captain, Commander Dan Manu-Popa, and a few words of encouragement for our incoming captain, Lieutenant Commander Bob Head. Commander Manu-Popa, as you have undoubtedly heard in his biography, has enjoyed a very rich and successful career in uniform, accomplishing challenging missions with the Navy and gathering a truly enviable breadth of experience in all manner of domestic and international maritime security exercises and operations, a perspective that he has undoubtedly brought to bear at Hunter. A dedicated professional, he has led this unit through the challenges of preparing for a new building, a pretty significant project, while still delivering a busy training year in and year out, and reaching out to the community for important commemorations and events. He alluded to one in particular, the Hose Memorial, which I had the great pleasure of visiting for the first time this morning. Dan, you have served with exemplary focus and drive, and I'm very proud today to pass on to you not only my own regards, but the thanks and congratulations of the head of the Naval Reserve, Commodore Craig, as well. Congratulations. And in congratulating Dan for his executive prowess and stick handling the competing priorities of demand, I must also recognize those in front of me who actually realized that vision for him, the sailors and officers, chiefs and petty officers of Hunter, who committed their time and energy, polished and pressed, and made the Reserve and the Navy very proud at every turn, as you all do today. You have understood why our efforts are important, and each one of you has made a difference. Thank you all. This is a time of transition not only for Hunter, but also for the Navy as a whole, as Commander Manu-Popa has alluded to as well. Navy renewal is underway. It will touch us all. Command and control reorganization, future fleet, new capabilities, and the culture change, which necessarily will be a product of that, to continue to ensure optimal effect for the government at the forefront of Canada's global engagement. We are adding capabilities and transforming from being a Northern Navy with global reach to an Arctic Navy too. The Reserve will be part of all of this, sailing in all classes of ships, looking to the north, and ramping up our engagement with Canadians through even more energetic outreach, as Hunter is so well positioned to do. Lieutenant Commander Head, Bob, this is where I turn now to you. You know, of course, you're taking command of an immensely talented group of people. Over the next few years, there will be some challenges and uncertainty. There will be important opportunities for us all too. I need you to do two things for me in particular. First, to maintain the absolute priority on the requirement of tactical proficiency of our sailors, whether they are in seagoing or support occupations. And second, to be the critical link for communication between the sailors and the senior leadership. The future of the Navy is in front of us right now. You are in the very prestigious and critical position of having the best perception of how to connect the strategic goals of our leadership with the hopes, aspirations, and capabilities of the young sailors standing in front of us who will be doing the business of the Navy on our behalf. The transformation we are embarking upon requires talented leaders. I have no doubt you will not only continue the tradition of excellence at Hunter, but add to it your own very particular and positive mark in its history. In the weeks following the one, like we had just recently, that unbelievable tragedy at the War Memorial and Parliament Hill on October 22nd, we have the opportunity to reflect a little more deeply and soberly on what duty and sacrifice mean. It has been extraordinary and reassuring to see and feel the expression of sorrow and support of Canadians. In a small footnote, we learned that 2 of the first responders at the War Memorial were former naval reservists. I've talked to you today about the role of the Navy, but in a way, their actions, years after having turned in their uniforms, but still willing to step forward in a crisis, speak to the heart of what being a citizen sailor really means. I know that same feeling is reflected in all of you. Bob, I will apologize in advance to your family. Over the next few years, they are not going to see as much of you as they would wish, as Dan's family knows so well, I'm sure. Our families serve behind the scenes, and the families of Dan and Bob, those of every member of the ship's company who may be here today, not only do I thank you most sincerely, but I humbly ask that you continue to please give them that support. Hunter, you look terrific today. Thank you very much. The band, wonderful that you could attend. Commander Manu-Popa, thank you for your excellent efforts and best wishes to you in your new responsibilities at the Joint Operations Command. Lieutenant Commander Head, congratulations. You have the ship, and I look forward to working with you and taking Hunter and the Naval Reserve into the future. Merci à tous.
The commanding officer will address the parade.
Captain Mulkins, Commander Manu-Popa, honored military guests from both this side and the other side of the border who are in attendance today, local parliamentarians, city officials, friends and family. I hope I haven't excluded anyone. It is indeed a great honor and a reunion of sorts for me to return to HMCS Hunter, albeit not at the time in my career that I anticipated my return to Hunter, but nonetheless, it's welcome. I feel welcome to be back among you. Commander Manu-Popa has been a mentor and a friend to me throughout our career as maritime intelligence officers and our former career as NCAGs, both in the international scene as well as within our specific occupations when we've worked within Canada. I have accepted a great responsibility, and this is a period of transition as we turn over from a full-time commanding officer to a part-time commanding officer. To the ship's company, I would like to say I have appreciated all of your efforts and all of your hard work as we transition over both a commanding officer and an executive officer in a period where we're also going to relocate to our new facility. I have to say that our success today, and you are well turned out and well presented, are a no short effort to the hard work that we've put in since I've taken over. I'd like to commend your efforts and your continued efforts, those of you that sacrifice time away from family and your civilian career in order to fulfill your military commitments. I look forward to this new opportunity in our new facility. It's a very difficult thing to give up the past with the history that we've built in this facility here at HMCS Hunter over the many years that it has served as our Naval Reserve Division home. But I can tell you, for those of you who have not had the opportunity to see this new facility, it is amazing. And I look forward to hosting events and engaging our new local business partners within the sandwich business community as well, to come and see this new facility and observe the training that the local people within your community who wear a uniform are engaging in. I'm not going to keep you out here for too much longer. I appreciate the commitment and time that you've all put in, and I wish the best to all of you, the best of luck in your continued career, and I look forward to serving as your commanding officer. Commander Manu-Popa, I have the ship.
Ship's company. Attention.
Permission to carry on with march past now. Yes, please. My bad.
Take close.
Man, by the right, quick, march!
Ship's company, move to the right main column of route. Right, turn.
Please be seated.
Ship's company, right, track.
wish to carry on with presentation of gifts for Outgoing seal and 3 cheers for Outgoing seal.
Ship's company, stand at E.
The commanding officer, Lieutenant Commander Head, will now present the outgoing commanding officer, Commander Manu-Popa, with a gift.
For those who can't see, we have a portrait here of Her Majesty's ship, General Hunter. She was a brig that was captured prize in the War of 1812 by Oliver Hazard Perry, Commodore of the American fleet, and bears our name designation with the proud name Hunter that we carry today. Commander Manu-Popa, please accept this gift on behalf of the ship's company.
Thank you so much. This is
Sorry, I cut you off.
The outgoing commanding officer, Commander Manu-Popa, will now present the ship's company with a gift.
You'll forgive me for the breach of protocol, but I thought I'd use the mic so everyone can hear what I'm going to describe here. You won't all be able to see this, but could we unveil it, please? So it is a mirror. Etched on the top it says, "I am the face of HMCS Hunter." Etched on the bottom, it says, "I am the face of the RCN," with the distinguishing naval identifier, the visual identifier, i.e. the naval ensign. What I would ask, and first I'll explain the significance of this. I think it is important at all times for us who wear the uniform to remember that we do not represent only ourselves. We represent something more. The appearance, our conduct, the things we say reflect directly upon our unit, our Navy, and in fact the Canadian Armed Forces. This is a gentle reminder of that, so I would only ask if you can find a fitting place in the new unit to put it so that people occasionally glance into it.
As we heard in the speeches, a member of the Canadian Armed Forces cannot do their job well without the support of their family. For the years of support to Commander Manu-Popa for the long hours, this commanding officer in the ship's company would like to present these flowers To Mrs. Karen Manu-Popa for her support to Commander Manu-Popa.
You want to jump in there with us?
Ship's company, attention. Ship's company, remove headdress. 3 cheers for Commander Manu-Popa. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Ship's company, replace headdress. At ease. And easy. Ship's company, attention.
All guests are invited to stand for the general salute and the playing of our national anthem.
General salute, salute.
Please be seated.
Mark on the man.
Man, follow with the rolls, quick, pause.
Windsor is a night where great things come together.